Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about our budget rules. I want to make this very simple and clear because there can be a lot of confusion about how do I spend, when do I spend, when do I increase, when do I decrease. So let's go over some simple budget rules. First, the minimum performance I recommend an ad should have before increasing spend should be 3x. That means for every $1 you spend, you're getting 3 back. Now, the learning phase is 7 days, right? So if 3x can be maintained or outgrown, I think it's time to start thinking about increasing spend. The longer you've maintained that result, your 3x, or even better, the safer it is to then increase spend in those ad sets. So depending on how you want to go about this, here are some general rules. Increase spend no more than 20% every 2 days of consistent performance. And this is a very aggressive way to be increasing spend. This is what was recommended to me by Facebook themselves because they actually see the market can be so volatile. So ideally, we're in the account and we're monitoring it closely, but generally, you don't want to be making too big of a change because the market's volatile. It could change that quickly and not perform well. Also, now keeping in mind this learning phase, when you change certain things like your targeting or your budget, that then restarts the learning phase. So we also know here that you don't want to be changing too many of those factors at once. It's good to give it time to let it learn more before we start making these changes for both the sake of volatility and for the sake of the learning phase. So a more passive approach would be to increase spend no more than 20%, say every 7 days of consistent performance, or maybe even every 14 days. This is something you're going to have to work out as you see your data and you find your comfortable range of when, okay, I can increase spend on this one, or you know what, I've been too aggressive, now I need to pull back. But we're keeping in mind that's affecting learning phases, and we don't want to disrupt those things if we do not have to. So always remember and use the learning phase following these simple budget rules, and I believe you are going to do just fine. Now that we've talked about budget rules, let's go ahead and set up a remarketing campaign.